This video, you'll learn how to master Minecraft X PvP in 10 minutes. As I studied and analysed hours worth of gameplay footage from world-renowned X PvP artists like Dream and Technoblade, and found the secret step-by-step formula that no one has yet talked about for you to consistently outplay and win your opponents in Minecraft 1.9 and up. Assuming that you already have the basics down and you're not a complete beginner, here's how to master Minecraft X PvP in 10 minutes. Before I start, there are 3 main topics I'll cover in this video, which are shields, afterhits, and crossbows. In each topic, I'll teach you the do's and don'ts and formulas on what to do in specific situations paired with examples from the MrBeast Dream vs Technoblade fight. Firstly, shields. Everyone knows that shields blocks all forms of damages and get disabled when hit with an axe. It's also good to know that it takes up to 5 seconds for it to recover. In every PvP face-off, your first goal should always be to disable your opponent's shield before they do, as doing so always gives you an advantage as you have the option to protect yourself and get free hits while opponents don't. For example, in the MrBeast Dream v Techno 100k fight, both Dream and Techno statistically disable each other's shield 4 times on average in a single round of fight. So if disabling shields are that important, here are some scenario-specific formulas you can do to safely disable your opponent's shield without taking damage for some free crits to win the fight. First up, Maneuver 1. Maneuver 1 disables the opponent's shield but won't allow you to damage them. Based on my analysis, Dream does this on average twice in every single fight. When the opponent hides behind their shield, spam left click to disable it and at the same time, strafe left or right and they'll miss. This obviously only disables their shield and does no damage. However, it's up to you to decide on what snakes, although I prefer the crossbow to the face. But what if I told you there's a way to both disable their shield and get a free crit? Killing 2 birds with 1 stone, here's Maneuver 2. Maneuver 2, a Techno's favorite, and the fastest and easiest method to use to get a free crit when in a standoff with players cowering behind their shields. Simply disable their shield and immediately block up and jump. Then enjoy your free crit as they disable your shield. Also, shields have an annoying latency lag time that applies for every single player. It's basically the amount of time taken for the game to register your shield after initially holding right click. For most people, it takes about 0.4 seconds, meaning you're still very vulnerable in that period of time. And here's an example of that. As you can see, I blocked, but I still got crit. Also, the latency lag time is somewhat related to your internet ping, meaning that if you're still getting hit after blocking for a long time, you probably have bad internet. But if you can't get better Wi-Fi, you can always try the next method. Before I move on, another thing to note is that this method will be completely impractical if your opponent is spamming left click while blocking their shield, as you'll most likely get hit or if you're unlucky, get crit. Last but not least, a Dream's favorite, also a personal signature move and the most useful when your opponent loves the shield. The last 2 methods consist of disabling their shield. But what if I told you there's a way to get a crit on them while completely ignoring their shield? Here's Maneuver 3. Listen up carefully, as this one basically guarantees you a crit if pulled off perfectly. When your opponent is shielding, hold up your shield too. Then strafe either to the left or right, hypnotizing your enemy. Unblock and jump around the opponent in the opposite direction of your strafe, and crit. Here's the opposite side. Unless your opponent has a crazy reaction time or you took too long before jumping around, an example like this, it's guaranteed you land a crit, unless of course you miss. But with good practice, it'll look something like this, and it might just save your life one day. One more thing is after you land your crit, they still have their shield enabled. So what if you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone again, or in other words, crit and disable their shield in a single move? This is basically a reverse version of Maneuver 2, but you crit them before breaking their shield. This is where it brings me to my second topic, after hits. After hits are basically still hits with an axe. It's not a crit or charged hit, but bursts of hits when the axe is still in cooldown. This obviously does very little damage, which in the long term will save you, but the main point is to sneakily disable their shield after you crit them. Because axes can disable shields in any state, be it a crit, charged or uncharged, it's just a left click away from disabling their shield. It's a win-win situation for you. Either you get their shield or deal knockback to position your enemy for another crit. Next up, or lastly, crossbows. In my opinion, crossbows are one of the most underrated items in 1.9 PvP. Without it, 1.9x PvP wouldn't be what it is today. Think about it, with a loaded crossbow and good aim, you are guaranteed at least 1.5 hearts of damage. Again, both Dream and Techno in their 100k fight shot on average 4 times in a single round of fight, which adds up to at least 6 hearts, or more than half health. So, when do you use your crossbow? Crossbows are usually used after hits and mid-ranged distance. Not really practical for close range as you'll risk getting hit, and not too far as you'll probably miss and waste arrows. Reload time also takes about 1.3 seconds. Another tip is if you want to be sneaky, always go for the shot while they are reloading their crossbow. It's literally free. With that, those are the 3 main sets of skills both Dream and Techno possess, and when perfected, guarantees you to always decimate your opponent. Before the video ends, here are a couple of fights that I fought using these 3 sets of skills to completely destroy them. Also, if you enjoyed this video and find this useful and want to support my very small channel, please subscribe. Trust me, you won't regret it. And also, if you find space, rockets, machineries, and the moon interesting, we went to the moon in Minecraft from scratch in this video.